Hello, traders. How are you? I hope you all are doing wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and start our live here in just a couple of minutes. All right, here we are, traders. Okay, well, welcome. My name is Anna DeShields, and tonight is Tuesday, 9/26, 2023 at 8:17 p.m. Thank you and welcome. I'm going to go ahead and do a top-down analysis on Bitcoin. We're going to also document our data that we find out. Last week, we had done a little bit of that documentation. So we're going to finish up tonight. We're actually going to back test yesterday's information from Monday. So it's a lot of great trading confluences that we'll be documenting, and you can see how I use it in my trading style and see if it's something that you want to adopt, or let me know what you use as confluences. Okay, and then really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and show our disclaimer. All right, showed the good stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the delay shows the sheet that I want to show. Make sure it comes up. Oh, let's see. It's not showing. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, I went ahead and shared that. And let's see how that came across. All right, so good. It's showing what I want to show, but it's not showing my Word document, which is a bummer. Actually, it's not a Word document, but not showing what I want it to show. So, no problem. Okay, no problem. Have to do a workaround. Ooh, look at that. Is not happy at all. Let's see if that fixes itself, becomes more stable. Okay, looks like that will work. Okay, good. Good. All right, this is what we're going to be doing. So traders, here we have here, let me just introduce this documentation sheet here that I use for my trading. Okay, we're going to just put this right on top of the screen. Making sure the delay comes across correctly. Okay. All right, so here, traders, is the confluences that I document. And we have the trend for, I have 2 days on here, so I can see what yesterday's data was and then for today's data. So I track the trend. I track this wave break that we have here that I use. Also, then for day two's date wave break, then the Exodus cross, 11 and 21. I did a short video on that, a YouTube short. So if you check that out, you can see how that works. I'll go into more of that too as we spend our time together. And then I document when the 50 and the 200 cross on each time frame. So that would be useful. And the way this is, well, let me finish going through the confluences that I document, and then I'll kind of explain the sheet. So we have the confluences and then channels. I do a channel. So we have the day one channel and day two. So it's yesterday's data to today's data. And then um, for another confluence I use, it's called the red wave. And so that's an information that I document too. Also, traders, I am a part of a platform, Lee Allen's Living by Design platform. And so I'm a coach on there. So if you're interested in being involved with a trading community or um, and exposed to other coaches, let me know and I can go ahead and get you in touch. But this here is one of um, her indicators. So this is something that I document for her students. And then we also have fibs that I track the fib location of price. And then we have the beach levels. That's another indicator of hers that I'll show you. And I track that information, that confluence. And then our moving averages. I do the 800. I want to know what's going on, the 200 and the 50. And then I have zones. And I'll get in more into that. I'm not going to go over that tonight. And then the scorecard and how I score all that data, because we as traders want to be taking A plus or A, B setups, preferably A setups. So I score the average of the outcomes from my analysis. All right. So that is the sheet. And I'm going to go back to the top. And then I'm going to try to keep this on the screen while we look at the information. So it'll be a great night. If you have any questions, just let me know. Go ahead and put them in the comments. I'd be happy to hear your feedback. Let me know what you do. How do you track your bias information from your top-down analysis that you do for your asset? If there's a different app that you might use or a different system that you use, love to hear your ideas. To maybe there's something different out there that I didn't know about. I know there's all kinds of different ways that traders log this information. What I like about it for me, and I've decided to do it this way, is that I have this historical data on Bitcoin. So this is all information on Bitcoin. I've been trading Bitcoin daily for the past 2 years now. So I have a lot of information that now I want to start keeping as a documentation. Before I had it on paper, I had this information on paper. I added a few confluences and then I took away a few. So it's been a work in progress, but I used to print it out and write the information out that way. And then just as my journey as a trader has developed, I decided to go ahead and put it in this format. So let me know what you do. Would be interested to hear. Okay. So let's see how we're going to do this and see how it sits on the viewing side. I have another window open where I can see what's going on. Okay. So here, we're going to go ahead and just go right for the trend. So the trend for the day that was on Monday's day. Now we're going to back test too. So those of you that don't know how to use TradingView, you'll also learn how to use TradingView. Let me go over here, and we want to find yesterday's information. So let me move it over a little bit more. Okay. And then we're going to hit replay. I do need to see. Maybe what we'll do is put it over here to the right. Yeah, let's do it that way. That way I can use all the tools in actually, we're going to go down to the 4-wave. We're going to go down to the 4-wave. So today is Tuesday. So we'll go ahead and do, we'll put or Monday's information here at the top, and then Tuesday's data has to still be put in. So that's fine. So we'll be at the top part will be our data that we're putting in there. All right. So over here to the left on TradingView, we're going to go ahead and identify the 4-wave break. So let's see if that has transpired. That's up here, traders. It's this indicator here. And we did have a break signal on September 21st. So on the Excel sheet, I'll go ahead and say, yes, we did. It was for the sell. And I want to know how long ago it was. When did this signal, when was that given to us? So that was on Thursday, September 21st. And today is the 25th, so just a couple of days ago. So I enter that information. Thursday, 9/21/2023. And then, how many days was that? How many days ago was that? We have some alerts going off. They probably go off often on our time together. And my students who I work with, they know that as well, very much of me. So you'll get to learn that about me as well. All right. So let's go ahead and get out our tools that we use. Boy, this is really tricky sharing all this information on one window. Okay. So we'll get the measuring tool and I drag it from the candle. Oh, we didn't, you know what we didn't do is we didn't hit replay mode. I want to go back and do Monday's information. So I'm going to hit replay on Trading View. I'm in replay mode. I just want to go back to um, yesterday. So that was Tuesday. Oops. Not Monday, but Tuesday. Right here. If you look at the bottom, you'll be able to see it. Okay, so here's Tuesday information, and we did have the break. It still happened, of course, on 9, let's see, what is it? 9:22 or 21? Which one is it? 21, yes. Okay, so then I'll go ahead and go over and grab the measuring tool. And I like to get, it's pretty going to be pretty simple with this one. So 4 days ago, 4 bars. And with this bars thing, as you become a developed trader, you'll be able to say, okay, so on this time frame, it was 16 bars. So that's why I document that also, just to be able to get used to seeing seeing that information, so I can then be accustomed to the amount of time frame and how many bars that will be. All right, so now we're going to take the link from TradingView. And what I like about that, traders, is I don't know if you do that. Now, if you have your own playbook that you might be creating for your trading style, in your playbook, you usually have your ideal setups and for what time frame, what is your strategy, what is your exits, what is your stop loss, what are some of your boundaries that you're looking out for, what are your events that you're taking your trades on, what type of triggers need to be given. So that's your playbook there. And then in your playbook too, you'll want to go ahead and document trades that fit that type of play. So I've taken that concept and then plugged it into this documentation here too, so I can see back at that time what was going on. So in Trading View, if you go up here to the top to the camera and you select copy link, it'll copy a link of that trading view chart, and then I just paste it right into the sheet, and then that way I can go back and look at the chart that I was looking at. So you can do that same with your own playbook. It's very handy. I would highly recommend that. And that was a tip that I got. Actually, I want to make sure I give credit to Abdullah. He had shown us that before, and so I really liked that tactic and went ahead and adopted it. So, what is my conclusion for this for right now? Well, let's see. Let's talk about that. We have a break, so that means that this is an ideal setup for a sell down. Now, based off of um, these indicators here, and so this one is selling down. This one's selling down. This one isn't quite there yet. So this indicates to you, let you know if they're all in alignment, then you really should have a nice entry. So with the information that's given to me, um, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of leave it alone. I'm going to leave it be. For right now, I'm not going to make a comment. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to go on to Okay, so that was for the purple information. This will be Tuesday's data, so I'll go back and get that. We're doing yesterday's information. So now here for the Exodus cross. Oh, you know what I forgot? My goodness. That was for the day. We have to now do for the 4 hour. So was there a break on the 4 hour time frame? So let's check it out. Now, this is all information that I do to get my top-down analysis for my asset that I trade. So for the 4 hour, we don't have a break. This is what I'm looking for. The last break that happened was, and that was on the 19th of September. So I'll say it was yes for the sell. And actually, traders, this showing me there, but I do have the most recent a break right here on the 4 hour for the buy up. And you'll notice if you follow your eyes down, those indicators are showing color. So this could be a potential good buy up. The last one that gives me pause is the very last indicator there. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, we do have a break, but it's for the buy up. And that happened today at 1600 hours, which is 4 p.m. So we're going to do 9:25, 2023, 2023 at 1600 hours, which is 4 p.m. So with that information, I can then say to myself when I want to analyze my Bitcoin, is this buy going to be a good buy to go ahead and take advantage of, or what do we got going on here? So for me, I would, let's see, let's look at that. The buy. Well, the momentum has been to the downside. So we'll have to see. You know how Bitcoin is. It's just in this really hairy area. So it will be interesting to see. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link here for TradingView for this chart. Copy that link. I'm going to put it in here. And then I'm going to date the information was taken, what's today. And then I'm going to put a note here for myself that I'm back testing. I had to see if I can adjust that for this recording so it won't keep going off like crazy. It just won't. It'll take too long. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, just a second, traders. Let me go and see if I can put this. Actually, we'll just hit cancel. All right. We're just going to have to bear with that noise. I'm going to go ahead and put in here that I had to hit replay mode. I tell you, between Telegram and all the other communication and document information, it's like, which key was it again that gives you the space under it? Okay, so in replay mode, Monday's data. All right, yeah. Okay, so that I'll know for later what was going on, why that date is so off. And then the time is right now. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead. I want to, let's see here. Hopefully that won't be too much of a problem, that Telegram going off. Okay. So now on the 2 hour, let's see what happened on the 2 hours. So I'm going to go to the 2 hour time frame and see when we had a break for the 2 hour. 2 hour, the break happened at 10 o'clock this morning. So we're going to say up here, we're going to say yes for the buy. And that was today. at 10 a.m. And then I'm going to put the link to the chart, copy link, put it right here. And then we'll see that, and then put the time. And then here in the bias or the comments section, I'm going to say that, now this is important. Had I seen this at 10 o'clock today, I was scalping at that time. So I would have seen that, hey, this could be a nice buy up. It is a nice setup. So I'm going to go ahead and notate that. I'm going to say it could be a nice buy notification. And then what I want to see is that if it went ahead and actually bought up nicely. So let's see what that did. So yes, it did buy up nicely on the 2 hour. Look at that. So let me go ahead and make it bigger, and then we'll look at that. Now we have three nice candles with that break. So you can go ahead and set your alerts and notify you that, hey, you have a break signal. Normally this information is already, I already have it done. So I already am aware of what's going on. So I would already have been aware of this type of data, or my alerts would have gone off. But you'll see, having this type of confluence of information documented really sets you apart as a trader. Okay, so that was a nice setup, a nice entry it could let me know about. And then I get to see how well all these indicators work together with these confluences. So that was a nice buy up. Let's see how many pips that was. So that bought up for almost 400 pips right there. So if I was trading off of this 2 hour, I could have gone ahead and taken that. We were at the bottom here. You see the candles came down, consolidated, and they did not continue on. We have here this candle has taken out the candles, closed above them, and then moved up into our 11 and 21. Now sitting on the 21 EMA. If you see that, traders, see how the 21, this is the purple one, is holding that. So that there had put a stall at it. It also is almost near the top of our channel, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But this is what I see. So I'll go ahead, and that would have been a very nice signal. So that then there also lets me know, traders, that, you know what, this indicator, spot on. I have some backup data on it, so I can look at it and can be a reliable source for me for the future. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the next time frame, which is the 1 hour. Some of these confluences that I use, traders, the 2 hour, 1 hour, yes, are very close together, but some of the confluences are helpful, even having it just that close. Okay, so we'll go ahead and see if there's any difference on the 1 hour for the break. Now look at our break here on the 1 hour. The red one, this middle one, was not selling yet when it happened. Now I'm just putting that when it happened. It was letting us know that it could be setting up for a possible sell. But if we look at the candles here, we look right at the candles now, we see consolidation. So I'll go ahead and put what it was. What was the break for? It was for the sell. And it happened today at 1600 hours. And that's another thing, traders, 1600 hours is 4 p.m. is you'll get to see patterns in time when things happen. And that's also helpful. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set a link to this, copy link, put it in here. And then copy this note. And then time. Also, traders, I like tracking this time too, because I can see how long this takes me to document this information. So for this note, I'll say that The break was given, and um, yellow and red uh, were good for the sell. However, just consolidated. So consolidation means, for those that are new, consolidation means that they haven't made a decision on the price, the bulls and the bears, or they're redistributing their orders. So it's just a time where there's no movement, and that's what this looks like. These candles here. I mean, you can get into candle names and all of that, but I'm just going to be very, layman's terms. Okay, now let's go down to the 15-minute and see what our 15-minute look like for the break. 15-minute. Our 15-minute, we don't have a break. The only break we had was for the sell again. Now this is on the 15-minute time frame. So if you're a trader that just trades on the 15-minute time frame, then this would be important for you to know here. Maybe your hours be important. And then we had it for the sell. And so when did that happen? Let's grab the time off of that. And I just put my cursor right to when it happened. And it was 7 hours and 30 minutes ago. So it was today. Whoops. So it was today. And it was 7 hours and 30 minutes ago. Now, if you'd like access to this Excel sheet, you can change it as you like. It will be available on my website. So it will be a paid product, but I went through the time of putting it together. It has automatic macros in it. You can edit it. You can change it the way you like, but it prints out very nicely, so you can have it not be too small when you print. So the page setup and all of that has been set so you can view to its viewing. It has a way where you can go ahead and so it won't print all this color on it when you actually print it, so you don't have to use up all of your ink. Okay. So for this though, the break happened at 12:30 today. So let's think about that. 12:30 today, we got a break. The indicators were telling us, yes, we can sell, but let's look at what actually price did. Price just consolidated and held under, this is your 200 EMA, this red one here. Okay. So we did get the signal, but price did, was just consolidating. So I'll go ahead and notate that. Get the link for the chart. And I'm going to copy this. Up to today's time. And then I'll say, even though the break now what I want to know is if it consolidated, how long did it consolidate for? Okay, well, how long did it consolidate? Still in consolidation, so 7 hours. So then that there helps you traders for your own asset. You can start to see patterns and the days and times that your pair may be in consolidation. Okay, so there's so many different ways that you can use this information. It's extremely helpful as a trader. Okay, the 5-minute, I'm not going to go down and do that. We don't have to do that, so that's fine. All right, so that takes care of that one confluence that I tracked. Okay, our next one is the Exodus cross, So let's go ahead and look at what that is. Let's go. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'd be interested to see what that chart looks like. Um, I don't have the type of chart it was on here, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and go ahead to the day time frame. Okay, here's the day. Oh, cancel. Okay. Oh, these are all my alerts. Okay. All right. Now, the day, we're on the day, see the timestamp. And now what we're looking for, traders, is the short-term trend change. We want the short-term trend change. So I use the 11 EMA and the 21 EMA. And when they cross, it's a trend change, short-term trend change. 8 out of 10 times you have a huge momentum, a huge surge, a huge breakout to the upside in whatever direction you get the signal on. And so as traders, you can get on average about if your asset that you pair between structure is like say 10 points, you have to find out what your asset gives you, but let's just say you have it broken up into different levels. This move, when these two EMAs cross, you can go on average about 4 levels of your support. That's how powerful it is. It's beautiful. I've been using it for over a year and a half now. And so that's what I call the Exodus cross. And that's the 11 and 21 EMA when they cross each other. Okay. So I'll be sharing more on that as we go, as we spend our time together. But so what I'm looking for is right here. This orange is the 11 and the purple is the 21. And see, when they crossed, even here on the day, price went ahead, broke out of structure, and then you have your huge surge to the upside, huge movement to the upside. Nice pips on that. And let's see how much it broke out into, including the wick, 1,000 pips. Okay. So as we do the top down analysis, you'll see how on each time frame, how it explodes and how it happens. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and say, yes, it crossed, and it crossed for the buy. Okay. Crossed for the buy. And then how many days or hours ago had it crossed? So this is the day time frame. So here's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. So 7 days ago, okay? Or we can go ahead. I'm going to use my ruler. You could also use your info bar if you like. I'm going to put it right over where the signal's at. So that was 6 days ago. So, and that was, what day was that? That was September 19th, which was last Tuesday. Last Tuesday. How about that? So that was Tuesdays a week ago, 9/19/2023. Okay. And then I like to do the bars. Then we're going to go ahead and put a link to the chart. Oh, you know what else? What I wanted to see, traders, is when I do this link, I like to have the chart so I know what chart I was using. So we need to have this visible. So I'm going to get a new link and put it in here instead. Okay. And then when do we take this information? It's going to be the same message as I set up here in replay mode. So we're going to sit here. It was in replay mode. And then the time was right now. See how long something like this will take you. on average. So my conclusion is, well, what I observe here, traders, is that we got the signal for the 121. I realize it's on the day, so that's fine. But you can use that information to your advantage. Okay. You can use that information to your advantage. Now we had the cross. Now we didn't have the cross for the sell back down. So technically, we are still in the short term buy trend, just having a slight pullback. Now we do have 11 and 20, no, 250 EMA cross for the sell back down. So we're in a long term and a short term conflict. We have for the long term, we have these huge two strong 50 and 200 EMA crossing, giving us now the signal for the short. And our short term saying, oh, that's nice. Okay. But the short term momentum has been to the upside, which we all can agree, and 1,000 points worth. Okay. So, summing that all up, I would say, okay. All right. So I put that in there. Okay. So that's for the 1121 cross on the day. Now let's go ahead and see where the cross was at on the 4 hour. See where the cross was at on the 4 hour. Now remember, this is two EMAs crossing, the 11 and the 21 EMA. That's what I see happens when these two cross. All right, so on the 4 hour, bring this down. All right, on the 4 hour, where do we have a cross? Well, we have one right here. This short right here. That's when these two, it's the smaller one, traders. It's this band. This one is for when the 50 and the 200 could cross. So it's right here. These two crossed for the sell down. And we got the sell, but we hit consolidation. So this isn't normally what happens when you get the cross. Remember, I was sharing with you, you could go about 4 levels of resistance and support, depending on however you measure that. I chart that off of these levels here that the group that I told you about that I'm a part of. These are her indicators. And so we can go about four of these support and resistance levels. So we notice here, traders, that we did have the cross and it moved down to the downside, but we didn't go for wave levels, did we? We just went sideways. Then it decided to break out once it retested the 21, retesting the 200, touching your 50. We all have them cross, and then it moved down. So that was a different factor. That isn't the normal expectation I want to see from this type of cross, okay? So we're going to go ahead and say on the 4 hour, yes, it crossed for the sell. And it was, when did that happen? That happened on the 4 hour on Thursday, traders. Thursday, same day as that that other information that we just collected with the 4 wave break, remember? So what we can do is cross-reference that. Cross-reference that with the break real quick. And let's see how long ago that was. That was. So I hope I'm teaching you a way that you can go ahead and do a top-down analysis and track your information on your confluences. Maybe you use a different confluence. So drop that in the comments. I love to hear what you use. Let me know. Okay, so that was 27 bars. which was 4 days ago and 12 hours. Now let's go ahead real quick and see how that goes along with the break. So here's our 11 and 21 cross on the 4-hour time frame, but our break happened further back. The break happened further back. And with that, we had more of a true break. Notice, look at the 3 indicators at the bottom. They're at the top. The first 2 at least are, and they sell down, and we did have the sell down. So this break signal got me in sooner if I had had it. And then when my short-term trend changed, then I got that information right here. So the difference between the two, and this is what I want to know because I want to know then, well, when I get this break signal, it's going to happen before potentially maybe before my exodus cross. So it got me in, looks like that was a day sooner. Let's look at that again from here to my signal, which is right here. That is 1 day and 16 hours. So it got me in, the break got me in sooner by a day and 16 hours. Well, that's really important information. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. The cross happened and then consolidated. And I bet that was on the weekend, on a Saturday. Which makes sense because that's what it likes to do. But the 4-way break would have told me sooner, told me 1 day and 16 hours sooner. So that's really good for me to know as a trader because we're trying to get the best entries, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and capture the link. I'm going to hit up here, copy link, and then I'm going to hit Control V, and that will put that there. Copy this message too, and then we'll put the time stamp here. Now let me show you traders what this link looks like so you can do it yourself for your documentation. I'll copy it and see if I can open it up on the same page so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to take this away. Uh-oh. Okay, well, something happened. Not quite sure what went down. Not quite sure what happened there. So just a moment. Let me put it back in this mode. Okay, something took place. I'll have to find out what happened there. Not quite sure. I have to find the tab we were on. Here we are. Okay. Let me go ahead and share that again. We got it back. Okay. And make sure it's looking correct. All right. So when I copy that link, traders, you see here, it gave me the chart and I can see the information that I documented at that time. All right. And then that then is recording, taking a copy of that chart. That's what it looks like. That's the output. Okay. So we'll go back to our chart and I'm going to bring this Excel sheet back over and we'll continue on. Just a moment. I want to find where you traders are. Here you are. So I can see what you see. Okay. Let's see, what were we working on? So now we're on the excess cross, and now we're on the 2-hour. So let's see what the 2-hour was. What happened with the 2-hour? When was that cross? And how is it different from the 4-hour? Here's our 2-hour. We're looking for the cross of the two EMAs with a huge surge down. So here, traders, looks like a cross, doesn't it? We have the huge surge down, as I would expect. But actually, if I hide this, we'll see that the EMAs did not cross. They came very close together. The two EMAs came very close together, but did not cross. So it had crossed prior back up here. Okay, so the reason why it didn't continue was because it still had enough momentum in the indicator formula to say we're still in sell. We still have this trend change. We're still selling. We still have this trend change. The trend change happened. So let me show you up here. Here's the signal for the cross. They crossed and we got the huge surge to the downside. Not as deep as I would have liked to normally see, but it was a nice move down. Still, traders, you can't complain about getting some pips, 600 some, okay, on Bitcoin on the 15-minute. And then it consolidated. Now I'm just seeing that my screen is delaying, so just a second. Boy, we are in huge delay mode from live until now. Like almost 2 minutes, it looks like. Goodness. That was like a huge delay. I'm going to go ahead and keep going, but I don't think it's ever been like that. I want to see how long, what day this was. So this was when it hit consolidation on Thursday on the 15-minute, all through Friday and Saturday. Now that makes sense for Saturday. Okay. And then we had, I was showing you how this could look like a cross too, but it's not. It's not actually, traders. If you go up here, let me move this over. If we go up here in Trading View, you can hide, I'm right up here. You can hide your price and just show the EMAs. And if we look at just them, the 11 and 21, this orange and the black. Now they do look like they cross, but I guess it wasn't enough for the indicator to go off. This one that's higher, that's a different EMA there. That's not the 11. I think that's the 4 or the 5. So if I hide that for a second, let me see if I can hide that. Well, I don't want to hide that because it's going to get into a whole bunch of stuff I don't want to share. But looks like they came close enough. If you disregard this yellow one, orange one, we see that they're very close. So I'm going to put the candles back on. And then we'll see from here, once it did drop, traders, they came together. Here it is, 11.21. Price went up, tested the 50, and then came down. And you had that nice momentum. It broke your support here and then continued down for, if you count the wicks, for 500 pips in 8 hours. So that was on a 2-hour time frame. So that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and document that. So the 2-hour, yes, for the sell. And when did that happen? that happened on, again, Thursday. And the 2 hour, how long was that? That was 55 bars. So you get to learn how to count your bars. Bars for days. So if they said how many bars are in 4 days, as you get to be doing this, you can start to learn what that information is. Okay. Let's see. Charts on live time and today's date. And then I'm not going to go ahead and document anything here. I spoke it out. I guess I could go ahead and write that yes. After the cross, sold down, then hit consolidation for the weekend. Then another surge down after it was done, after consolidation was done. As a new trader, something like this documentation will come in handy, okay? Because let's say you have a mentor and they're teaching you, and your documents information, you can be like, okay, so why was that important? Like, how does that help me in my trading? Why do I care about that? So you can start to put pen to paper, actually think about the information that the charts are giving you and how they're helping you understand the charts. All right. So that's the 2 hour. And then let's look at the 1 hour cross. The 1 hour is right here. Okay. Here's our cross. And now this is the surge that I'm talking about, that I'm looking for to happen. This was on the 1 hour. So it came out of consolidation, and we have the cross. This up here is the 50 and the 200 when they crossed, okay? So don't look at that one. It's this lighter color, this one. Price crossed, and then huge surge to the downside. Went from 1, 2, 3, 4. I said at least 4 wave levels, okay? And there we are, and it continued even further. So that there was a nice trade, and that's what I'm talking about, traders, with this change in trend change. Okay, it went with the wicks 500 pips in 13 hours. Now that's on the 1 hour. Okay, so that's a longer play. That's fine. You have to find your time, your time frame for when you want to go ahead and trade. Also, maybe using this strategy, if you want to call it a strategy, this type of entry. You have to find out when it works, how often you get it, out of the probabilities of size that it is successful. Does it fit your trading style? How do I manage it? Where to put my stop loss? So you gather all of that information. Okay. So we have here, it happened, yes, for the sell. Now look here too, traders. We have for the buy, then we have on all the lower time frames for the sell, from the 4 hour down. So that there also lets you know the trend for the time frame and the overall pair for Bitcoin. Like, what should I be doing with Bitcoin right now? Helps you see the big picture. So this last break was on Sunday on the 1 hour. So the others were Thursday. As we drop down, it's further along, lower time frames, Sunday, 9:24. Okay. And exactly how long ago, if you want to get that detailed, it was 28 bars ago, which is equivalent to 1 day and 4 hours. Okay. And we'll take our copy our link. Oops. Try again. And do the date, the time right now. All right. Okay. Now let's go down to the 15-minute. You can see even more of a sooner cross. The 15 minutes right here. Well, we got crosses going all up and down, don't we? Look at those totals. Keep consolidating back and forth. This is no good. You would know that by the location of the EMAs, the strength of the candles, your location on your levels. Okay. So the most recent one is right now, but we're in consolidation. So let's look. I'm going to document this one, but let's look at what happened with the actual cross, is what I'm looking for. Price came down. We're at our bottom. We all know that. We got our cross, and then we have the huge move to the upside. Notice here that some traders will wait until price breaks this high and then enter to feel more comfortable. That's fine. This cross got you in sooner. It consolidated, didn't take off right away like I normally want it to take off. And actually, traders, since it paused like this for about 4 bars, I might have said, I'll hold off and wait for an actual break and watch it, because sometimes traders is when it doesn't commit, it doesn't go in that direction. I want something normally that for this type of cross, it happens. Usually you see it happen within that bar or the next bar. When it doesn't, then it doesn't always do what you want it to do. Okay. But it did a few bars later on the 15-minute time frame, and then made the huge move 258 pips up, broke off out of this consolidation. It will show you that before. Sometimes you'll have it here as well. But and then break your 50. Once it break your 50, that's another confirmation that you're good to head to the upside. And then traders will say, okay, well, when it gets to the 200, either I'll take my profit, that's enough, or I'll partial close and see what happens. Okay, so that was a nice cross. So I'm just going to say cross was nice. Cross worked well. Had, what did you have, about 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 bars before takeoff. Now, what you could do too is, traders, when this happens in your playbook, you can be like, okay, out of a scenario like this, does it end up committing and going up for the signal that it was saying for the buy? And then as you document that and you have a sample size, you can say, okay, from my documentation, 6 out of 10 times it does end up buying up, or 8 out of 10 times it ends up buying up. The stronger the amount of times, the better the probabilities of it doing that. So when you come into situations, you'll have that data to work off of. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say yes for the buy. And now look at here, traders. Now we're in the lower time frames, right? And the trend change is changing. Higher time frames, they're the boss. They're telling you the overall trend. And then your short-term trend is just going on what's going on while the main trend is happening. Okay. So we'll go ahead and measure. Well, it actually happened right here. So I do have to be just happened, but I was showing you an example of what it looked like. And then I'm going to say, the link for it. Oh, Before I give the link for it, I like to make sure I have the name of my chart here. So I'll know what chart I had when I did it. Okay. So, and I like to have all of the information available too, so I can see what was going on that time. Now, traders too. Let's talk about that, and then we'll stop for tonight. We didn't get all the information gathered at all, but it's a lot to take in. So, with this, traders, we had the cross. Let's bring it up a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. All right. We had the cross for the buy. It is in consolidation. Let's look at our other indicators. We're at a zone where there's a lot of common area, strong area, where you have a lot of this type of behavior happening within this zone, if not this level, within this zone. We're in between the 50 and the 200. Lots of conflict there. And then we have these levels down here. They are buying up, but we just really are in consolidation. So technically, all of our different confluences are agreeing with each other, even though price isn't moving, buying up with huge pips. All of the indicators are working at the right locations, and the normal type of turnout and reactions from these locations, and with the way price action is all fitting into our puzzle and what we would expect. So it's a good thing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off the screen. Make sure I save that because that was a lot of information that we took. And place that up there out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and look at Bitcoin. Okay, we're in replay mode, so we're going to take that out because we were gathering yesterday's data. And then what I'll do is I want to look at the 4-hour on our fibs and find out where we are at for tonight. Because I'm anticipating for it to still sell down to this zone that I'll show you. Let me hide this. To this zone, and I'll show you right now, and we'll see if she wants to go ahead and still do that without going to the upside. Okay, and then we'll conclude. So here, traders, I anticipate her to come down to this zone here. Okay, and for today, and from our information that we've been collecting, she has been selling, but more in consolidation, huh? Today is what, Tuesday? So today and tomorrow into Thursday. Would have thought they would have a bigger move today coming out off the weekend, but I plan to see some nice movement tomorrow and Thursday. Okay. So I do, the probabilities of it maybe coming down to this zone within the next couple of days is very probable. So I'm on board. I'm on deck. I'm doing my top-down analysis. I have my information. So here we are. It's just been playing in this zone, consolidating and looking for it to come down into this zone. Now, remember, this is for educational purposes only. I'm just showing you what I do, how I mark up my charts for Bitcoin. On intraday analysis, I trade Bitcoin swing intraday, scalp it. I also trade NAS 100 and do intraday swing and scalp that as well. And now getting into US 30. So thank you so much for joining me. And we'll be doing lives now on a more regular basis on Tuesdays and Thursdays of the week. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions or any comments, or maybe there's something else that you'd like to know about trading, leave them in the comments below and I will review them and we'll talk about it. I look forward to seeing you in the charts. I'll be on Thursday of this week. And so I will see you then. Bye, traders. Thank you.